You know the history of the van life in the US date back in early 1900. Yeah. At that time, the auto industry, booming. So a lot of people they could afford to buy the car. So sometimes they travel somewhere and they could stay in their car. Yeah. And after the World War II in 1950, 1960, many young couple or young people at that time, they convert like the bus, like the living space, and they use the bus to travel around the US. Yeah, to enjoy the freedom, and and they can enjoy the view on the road. Yeah. And during the countercultural in 1970 and 1980, many young couple, they had the idea, rebel the tradition, because the tradition, at that time, the people, young people after they graduate the high school or the college, they had to uh, get married, have the children, and go to work and make money and raise their children. But in the 70 and 80, many young couple they didn't want to live like that, and they don't want the children, so they rebel the tradition. They live in the van, they travel, and they live in the camping ground. Yeah. The early 2000, in the internet expansion, so many young people they could work remote, so they convert their car, their van at the living space, and they make money, they travel. Yeah. And from 2010 to right now, many famous, online influencer, they made a lot of money by, document themselves, and post on many social media, and because they got a lot of view, so many of the company, they advertise in their video, so just like the business, yeah. Yeah. And many retired couple, they try to live in the new lifestyle. They they may sell their home and buy the the EV car, just like the van car, the big van, the EV car or the big van, had the shower, had the toilet, had the stove, oven, yeah, and had the solar power, to have the electricity. Yeah, had the living room, bedroom. Yeah, just like the house. But the retired couple, after they travel a few years, they often sell their EV car and go back to live like apartment or a house. Yeah. And it's so sad, you know, many young couple, they had the small children, you know, they enroll their children to online school and they travel, they live in the van, you know. It's not a good idea because when you had children, you know, even though you enroll them in the online school, but the children, you know, need to be in the school so they can learn how to socialize, you know, because the kids, you know, they you know they need other kids to play, you know, to learn. Yeah, many online influencer, yeah, don't try to live in the van life right now, because if you try, you know, you may get robbed. Why? Because the cost of the car repair so expensive. Yeah, so expensive. Yeah, and you may not get a lot of view, you know, to to compensate for the spend that you spend a lot of money in the van line. Yeah, you cannot save money by live in the van. No, because the car repair so expensive. Long time ago, the car or the van may last, you know, 30 years, 50 years. Right now only last about 10 years. Yeah. So many young influencer or old influencer, online influencer, don't try to live in the van, you know, to make money or to save money. That's all for the video today. I hope after you guys watching this video, you guys know about the history of the van life in the US. Bye bye.
Not very wide, but still got everything you need. Kitchen, double bed. I presume that's a, don't know what's in there. East German Trabant with a roof tent. Quite a few different variations of the old caravans, but they're so small, but they're so well laid out. Double beds, kitchens. I suppose if you live simply, what actually more do you need? 1986, it looks like something from another planet. Back to the Future. And it's same again. Kitchen, dining, double bed, cupboards, you name it. It's all in there. 1976. In old East Germany. 2 beds, 2 berth. It's about the size of a large wheelie bin. I'm slightly exaggerating, but you know. Kitchen. And double bed. Open roof. Now we're heading down the Moroccan route. Tour the Sahara. Renault Dauphine. There's a little caravan on the back. Nice old Mercedes-Benz with caravan on the back. Look at that. Mercedes. Swivel seat at the front. First one with the toilet. Sink and shower maybe in there. Kitchen, lounge and double bed. Mobile 1973. Mercedes base. Looks like they just stuck a caravan on the back. Look how much space you've got. I presume there's going to be a bathroom down the corner there. Scene. Stick a camper on the back of a pickup. 1974. Now you'll probably still see some of these on the road. Not many, but you'll still see some. Just look at that Mercedes. Fantastic. But the engine still works, going strong. Let's have a look inside. Maybe we could have a bit of redecorating here and there. Americans being Americans have to be bigger and better. Size of the car that's pulling their caravan. And we have an Airstream. Looks like about 50 metres long. Obviously it's not, but it looks it. Let's have a look inside. Oh, looks like we're allowed in this one. It's ginormous. It's like a proper bathroom at the back. Bed in the middle, kitchen, another bed down in here. What makes these unique and stand out is the aluminium. And we've got air conditioning on the roof. 1969. That must be an add-on, surely. 1981 Heimermobile. Mercedes based. Look at that. I'm just going to zoom out. Mrs. C, what you doing? You can't have one. Wicked, she says. Oh my goodness, look at the colours in here. My God, you'd have to do something with that. But, you know, if you want it to stay original. Ford Transit. Oh, no, it's not working anymore. All them stickers. This has been an adventure wagon by the looks of it. Proper bathroom and shower, look at that. Big bed above the cab. Kitchen. Dining, another double bed. Heimer car. So this could be the first, 1982. This could be the first full picnic sleeps Heimer camper van. Not a mobile home. Wow, big bed upstairs. That'll pull out to be a double as well, as I thought. Traumatic SW heating, sink, cooker, fridge. Just almost the same as ours. I thought it was a Ford Transit. This is what we all dream about. Look at the size of that beast. Absolutely ginormous. There they are. Doesn't look a massive amount of room inside, I'm not going to lie. Let's go up on this step. Ah, see. Captain's chairs. And there's steps up to the roof. The roof lifts up and there's a bed up there. Overall, a great museum. We spent a couple of hours and really enjoyed it. If you're in the area and you have time, it's well worth a visit.